What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Marquita Show podcast. If you are not subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for post notifications so you get notified every single time I post. But let's go ahead and get right into the video. This video is going to be about good old Creepy Joe. He is again insulting black people's intelligence. So let's go ahead and watch the video and I am going to react to it. So let's go ahead and hit the play button.
What you all know, but most people don't know, unlike the African-American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things. You go to Florida, you find a very different attitude about immigration in certain places than you do when you're in Arizona. So it's a very diverse community.
Okay, so you just watched that, and I know it's kind of confusing. It's always confusing when you watch Joe because his stuff is just all over the place, and it's crazy how so many people try to defend what he says. But I'm going to give you my interpretation of what I think he said, and it's not going to be a pretty one. First of all, I don't feel like it was necessary to bring African Americans into the mix when you weren't talking about African Americans. The statement could have been said without saying African Americans. So it kind of makes it a little bit offensive there when you say, well, unlike African Americans, you know, this group of people, they're doing this. But basically how I broke it down is that black people he feels like black people have a certain way of thinking. All of us think that way. And that's just it. Whereas Latinos, they're a little more diverse in their thinking. You have conservatives, you have independents, you have Democrats amongst Latino people in general. And by Latino, I mean like the Hispanic. I think the term is better used as Hispanic because that picks up everybody, Mexicans, Cubans, Dominicans, like all of that whole Spanish-speaking group. I think Hispanic is the correct term to be using. But when it comes to the Hispanic people in America, I think their way of thinking, as he puts it, is very diverse. Whereas he compares it to black people who are very straightforward. We all think this way and nobody thinks any other way but this. With that being said, I also interpret that as meaning that, oh, well, since we already know that black people think this way, this is what we say to get them on board and we're good. We don't really have to work to get their vote. Whereas Latinos, they're asking for a bit more. They're going to be a bit of a challenge to come in and bring them on board. So I feel like it is a subtle insult to the black community, saying that, hey, you know, we already know that y'all vote Democrat, just come on board, we're going to automatically get your vote. And that's just not the case. There are a lot of people in the black community that are waking up to the Democrats' BS, myself included, and several other people are starting to wake up and not just casting our vote like business as usual. We're actually going out, we're getting information about candidates, we're looking at track records. And if you look at Joe Biden's track record when it comes to black people, yeah, he could ride on the coattails of Obama because black people loved Obama, so he figured he can skate right on in because he was part of the Obama administration. But what have you actually done? And in the past, couple months, he's really been pushing it with black people as far as his statement, and it sounds like he's being very condescending to us and just really insulting our intelligence when a lot of us you're not just going to get our vote. I'm in several groups on Facebook, and I'm also on Facebook, so make sure to go like the page. It's the Marquita Show. Matter of fact, it's Marquita Show on everything, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and I also have a Snap now. So yeah, I know y'all wanted to know that because I had been saying I was going to get a Snap, but I finally got a Snap. But anyway, so yeah, he just feels like he can just automatically get our vote, whereas, you know, he's basically out loud saying, well, I'm going to have to work a little bit harder. Well, you should have to work a little bit harder for the black vote as well. Let's look at your track record. What have you done? What are you planning to do? And I feel like, you know, that we are, as as a community, as the black community, are starting to wake up to the BS. And this is not just gonna cut it, Joe. Just saying that, oh well, they all think like we got them. We secured that group, but we working on the Latinos over here. They're a little bit of a challenge, But we gonna wrangle them in too. No, it's not business as usual. So to all of my black people out there, make sure you know who you're voting for. Make sure you are voting on your issues and what affects your community, and not just doing it because, hey, this is what my parents did, this is what my grandparents did. Now is the time to use your vote and use it wisely. And I am not in any way telling you which way to vote. I'm not saying I am pro-Trump. I'm not saying I'm pro-Democrat. I am what you would call, I guess, an independent. I don't know. But yeah, because this just ain't gonna cut it. The Biden, he just doesn't sit well with me. I've seen a couple videos, and I may post some on my page or do a video about it. So yeah, that is my take on this BS that Joe Biden has put down. Y'all make sure to leave in the comments what you guys think about it and what you thought he meant or how it made you feel. And with that being said, guys, until next time, one vibe, one tribe. Deuces.